I felt so humble how much we don't know. I was reminded of a saying that the encyclopedia of ignorance is more vast than the encyclopedia of knowledge. So I was privileged to have this copy of Garcia's book, because in 1978, the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan launched a project, Ancient Indian Insights and Modern Discoveries. Dr. Raja Ramanna was the president of the Life and Science. Dr. Shantilal Mehta, the founder of this book, they urged me to study Ayurveda through the eyes of a physician of modern medicine. For 7 years, I did an intensive study. And as a result of that, in 1986, the book was published, Ayurveda and Modern Medicine, by Bharatiya Bhavan, with forward by Raja Ramanna. Dr. Rafiq Zakaria, a very eminent scholar, and who was our health minister, reviewed my book in the Times of India within a week of its publication. That gave full publicity within and outside the country, and Sheikh Albana, a scholar from Saudi Arabia, read the book and invited me to give lectures on Ayurveda. So it's a great legacy, and therefore, when I saw this book, I said, Garcia did a great job, but he did not know that he was rediscovering the wheel. All the 57 herbs mentioned by Garcia are already in our Indian text, as exemplified by Dravya Guna Vidyan by Vaidya Gopte. This is our standard book, published by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. So every single herb described by Garcia is in the Dravya Guna Vidyan. Still, I would not denigrate his effort, and therefore I have quoted a Sanskrit proverb here. Vidvane vidanati vedana. Only the learned can appreciate the efforts of the learned. A sterile woman cannot experience the labor pains. So I give full credit to Garcia. And what is important is, Garcia's book was translated to English. In the 16th and 17th century, this went to Europe. So in my foreword I have written, to the extent of foreword, in the 21st century, we got another opportunity of going to the Western world with a greater understanding. I will only read the last paragraph, which will be in the extended Incidentally, the word Garcia means a garden, Portuguese, the author. By the 17th century, the use of Indian plants for treatment of melancholy was already known in Europe. A very eminent Eastern India Christian stated, Indians are very excellent botanists, admirably skilled in the nature and use of plants, and having an extraordinary variety of them to improve the considerable thing. One of them was mentioned as Sarpagandha, which is mentioned in Garcia's book. There are 10 other memory enhancing drugs, and the point I am making is that 4 billion people, 80% of the world population, presently use herbal medicines for some aspect of primary health or other. Remember the figure. According to WHO, 4 billion people, 80% of the world population, presently use herbal drugs. Current global herbal market is US $70 billion, growing annually at a rate of 10 to 15%. And the global nutraceutical market is 142 billion. So I am making a plea that I hope this publication of Garcia in the 21st century will give the message to the Western world that Indian traditional medicine has at least 50 winning things, 10 memory enhancing drugs and 40 others, so they can enter the world market. Our share, which is today 0.1%, should become 50%. So I have said, what we need is vision, imaginative thinking, and swift action, as outlined in my published articles, so that Ayush can pick it up, Indian drugs can enter the world market by the front door. What we need is standardization and honesty. Unfortunately, unscrupulous people, I'll give two examples. All of you take Chavanprash. It contains amalaki, which is very important. When amalaki is in short supply, the unscrupulous manufacturer puts kaddu. And you don't know as a customer. Yashti Madhu, there are 10 other things which I am interested in short supply. The unscrupulous supplier gives fake things. So my concern is how to standardize the herbal drugs. Yes, Indian 50 drugs can enter the world market only when they are science. Today, $15 billion is spent every year for the treatment of lamb disease. It is not satisfactory. And I have mentioned that Ayurveda has 10 methods of science which are winners. So what are we waiting for? By validation of these drugs in the world market, we can have $15 billion of income at the same time benefit the world. With this hope, this is the stimulus of Garcia's book. 300 years back, he sent knowledge of Indian women to Western people. By the 21st century, we can enter the Western world with better understanding.
Before I give the traditional, conventional vote of thanks, I'd like to request Masha to say a few words because she represents Mr. Masha.
Chief guests, President Shrikant, I will not say Mr. Tikekar, we always known him as Tikekar-san. So that is the way, sir, I have always been to you. I stand here, I appreciate what Mr. Kale said and also what a closer friend of mine said to Mr. Natvarlal Shah. Why are we forgetting that the raison d'etre was women? Natvarlal Shah was just a mode of expression for what women felt for this institution. And that I would like to say that Tikekar Sahib said a lifetime of service to the Asiatic. Sir, I was very touched by that sentence. I'm glad. I don't think women Bhabi, as we have known her, even thought when she was coming to the Asiatic with a lot of zest, kuch bhi hota tha, so my mother-in-law would sometimes still come. I don't know how many of us follow Gujarati because it's the colloquial way that she used to say. So to ab thodi jai jai. And we know, what are you running to that for? I must do this, I have to reach at this time. And all that she had to say is that if you go there, then you will know why my love is here or why I am here, whatever it is. But I don't think she even imagined remotely that Asiatic would see her in the view that we will be seeing her through this book. I don't think she couldn't have even dreamt it. It was this body of intense knowledge, and I so agree with what Sir said, that our encyclopedia of ignorance is millions of times larger than our encyclopedia of knowledge. But this is a place of knowledge, and I would want to thank the Asiatic Society for what they have brought out. And my brother-in-law, that is Vimal Bhabi's husband, would say, but Rupa, what has happened? What are they doing? Can't they select one book and publish it? Even in the first year of the month's passing away. I've met them so many times, and I have only one thing to say. I said, diligence does not need knocking the door all the time. And he didn't like it. I know he didn't like it. But I'm sure on the death anniversary, someone working on it or not, So I stand here. I don't think thank you is a good word. It can never express what one really feels from the heart. It's way beyond that. It's the Asiatic that will immortalize women. Every time somebody opens the book, we're going to see her. So friends, and whatever more, I think will still be coming out of this every time. And it's rare that women found such love in Asia. I'm sure she would be very grateful. I don't know, who knows, she may be just standing somewhere around there or sitting there and still seeing this and viewing it and saying, Rupa, just one thing I wanted you to say, but non-communicable. One thing, I don't know if she shared it with some of you. It was amazing, her attraction towards Goa. And she used to say, and I said, what women are we? Goa mein kya hai? We're staying in a sea place. We're staying where the beaches are there. Not so clean, but that's okay. And she would say, holiday to Goa mein hi hona chahiye. She would prefer a Goa holiday to an international holiday. And mind you, I think she's been there only once. But she said, nahi, wo place mein kuch hai. And I used to tease her. I said, you must be one of the wives of the Goancho Sala. She said, oh, maybe. And it just passed out, And see what Providence had, or what fate has brought her. Obviously, that silent attraction of hers brought her to this garden. And mind you, nobody had any say in the selection of why this book, or what for, or why not this, nothing. But it has, so I mean, I'm coming to believe that in your living world, if you have some, unknown links, somewhere they materialize, why and how, we have no answer. But this Goa it was a homecoming if she knew about it. And I'm sure she would have now wanted to go and see the man out. And also go to the place where Garcia did practice in Goa. Or wherever he had a clinic in Bombay or something like that. And she was not fond of, I don't know if Deepika Saab was aware of it, she was not fond of allopathy medicine at all. She wasn't. She would keep it, more than a foot away from that, large all away. So maybe the selection that we have unknowingly, you have launched on or bounced upon, was her absolute allegiance or silent acceptance of this kind of medicine and not allopathy. So I'm sure, sir, she feels very honored, she feels very warm towards this whole situation. And I think we are very lucky that Dr. Lele had agreed to write the foreword. And Mr. Printer, the family personally thanks you. No, you're Mr. Reprinter, not the printer. So, sir, thank you very much. And because I don't have to be kind somebody, sir. He knew women loving in a different way than what most of us did socially, but all the same. Today, Natubai is not too well. So the family has also sought their leave of absence. They would have loved to be here. And we had to make our choice of where we wanted to be at this time. He's at home, but not very well. So please pardon the family not being here. Otherwise, we are a large family. And all that they said is, Bhabhi, prasad leke aana. I said, yes, and bring the prasad. And to give you numerically, Vimal and myself had 9 sisters-in-law. We were 4 brothers. So that's our numerical family. But let me tell you, or maybe I just only want to say thank you. As I said, although it's not a right word and it's not as good a word as I like it to be, but I'm glad the way you have immortalized it. And all of you friends, we're grateful that you're here today. Thank you.
So, well, you said that thank you is not a word that conveys the word we have. And so I'm going to use it to first thank the Shah family, and particularly Mr. Ghafarlal Shah, because without his generous, very generous gesture in us, as you rightly said, Vimal would have been very pleased with what we have done. And I think the choice of the book, perhaps when it was first mentioned, we all sort of what Dr. Taylor was talking about, and he's made a mistake in the spelling of something simple. That was what, the initial reaction. And he said, Garcia the Horta, we said, who? Because we were ignorant. So thank you for making us less ignorant today. And I think the book is indeed, it's a marvelous beginning. And we are very happy that we have made this beginning today. Thank you, Rupa, for being here and sharing your reactions with us. As usual, I'm very happy to once again thank Dr. Tikekar for his sound choice, his sound thinking, and as always, we are pleased that we have listened to him, because we are so happy with the end result. I know we took perhaps a little longer than we would have liked, and we could have done this a little earlier, but I think once you have seen, the end product is indeed remarkable. That Dr. Tikekar has made the right choice, I think, will be recognized by all those who will buy the book. And I hope many of you will do that today, because today it's going to be at a special price of just 400 rupees. So it's a book that is really worth having. And it, as Dr. Tikekar rightly said, it fulfills one of the objectives, important objectives of the Asiatic Society, in that it is authentic, it is a very learned work, history, despite the 4.5 centuries that have passed since it was written. So thank you so much, Dr. Tikekar, for not just recommending it, but for helping to see it through and for agreeing to be present today to release the book. We could not have found a more appropriate person than Dr. R.D. Lilly, who very kindly wrote the preface and has agreed to be with us today, to preside at this release, to have shared his view with us today about the importance of our Indian medicines, of Ayurveda, of the herbs, in a way that this book does help to alert